This apple tree graft has grown with a surprising vigor, and I left it unpruned for too long. I have another tree of the same variety that I am pruning in the modified central leader system. I decided to prune this one in the open center system so I can compare the productivity of the same variety with these two pruning systems. The problem with converting this tree to an open center is that the future main branches will be too low or too high. To get a better feeling of the possibilities for a final shape, I headed all the branches by half. If I cut the lower ones and leave the top ones, the cross might be too high, compared to my other trees pruned in the same system. I don't want to leave a stump with no branches, as this will take much longer to form the tree, so I was a bit conservative in my first cut. For my second and final cut, I will have to try and lower the cross as much as I can, so the productive branches are still accessible from the ground. In the summer of that year, the tree was shaping up nicely. If I wanted, I could even lower the cross a bit more using a couple of small branches that are growing from lower positioned buds. Nevertheless, as pruning again in the winter would set me back another year, I decided to maintain the higher open center shape. I only left a few small branches with fruits that will be removed the following year. To speed up the process of shaping young trees, summer pruning should be used whenever possible. Removing vigorous growing water sprouts will help to concentrate the new growth energy towards the main branches. This is also an opportunity to remove bad positioned branches, like those that are growing towards the center of the tree. Leaving a few small lower branches with fruits will not harm the development of this tree and will give me the opportunity to taste the variety. The top branches are young and still unproductive, so all the energy will be used towards growing new wood. I also cut tall and vigorous new growth near an outward growing bud to keep the height of the tree in check. This will promote new lower lateral branching by removing the apical dominance. The new growth from the outward facing bud will also allow the center of the tree to open a bit more. In the second winter pruning, unnecessary and bad positioned branches were removed. The objective is a better definition of the open center shape. When removing branches in a fork, always remove the more vigorous one. I still kept a few lower productive branches. These will be removed next year. All the highest branches were headed. Some productive wood was removed at this early stage of development. To know more about heading and thinning, be sure to watch my other videos on basic pruning techniques. In the spring, the pruned tree is waking up. The older branches are developing a few flower buds. These will produce a few fruits that I might keep, since they won't harm the tree's development in any meaningful way. By the end of the second year, the tree's final shape is fully defined. The third winter pruning will still require removal of growth that interferes with the main branches. All branches that grow towards the center will also be removed. Water sprouts can be removed, or, in some cases, they can be simply shortened to promote fruiting bud development. When having main branches, always cut near a bud that is facing outwards. As before, I keep the tree at a manageable level by heading all vigorous growth from the main branches to the desired tree maximum height. The following year, if too much secondary branches develop as a result, I remove some of these and, at the top, I leave only a weak lateral branch to reduce vigor. This is the tree after this last winter pruning. In the second year of shaping a tree, I also start pruning to encourage the development of fruiting buds. Most apple trees will grow short stems called spurs, which will produce flowers and fruits. Some varieties may only produce spurs in the tips of branches, so you have to know your apple varieties when pruning for production. Spurs are produced on 2-year-old wood and will produce fruits for several years until they need to be renewed. Shortening small branches to just a few buds tends to incentive fruit bud development. Most spurs will only flower in the second year and may only produce fruits in the third year of life. So, to maximize production, you have to prune in a way that induces the growth of fruiting buds on new branches. The pruning techniques used to maximize fruit development will be covered extensively in my next pruning video that is approaching the final stages of production. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on all notifications on your device so you don't miss it. This video will also compare the fruit production levels on a couple of trees of the same variety, shaped in the open center and in the modified central leader systems. If you enjoy my work, like, leave a comment and share the video to help me make more. Thanks for watching.